Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. I'm Brittany Leigh, and I'm here to bring the Leigh to your Valentine's Day, because God knows if you're watching this channel right now, you're not getting the Leigh anywhere else. We are going to embark on a truly impossible task to help two of America's most unbangable comedians find true love. Now, in order to get two of my extremely bangable friends to agree to this, I have to make it a blind date. So Jordyn and Eben will be meeting their dates for the very first time right here, right now. Jordyn, Eben, how are you guys feeling?
Stellar.
I didn't realize that I could be summarized in so few sentences, but I really think you just summed it up, so.
Thank you so much, Eben.
It's like, I just also want to address, there's like Gilbert Gottfried, and there are like a long list of other comedians that I just feel like outrank us on the unbangable list. I think we're middle of the pack at least. Top 200.
Two of the most middle of the pack in America are trying to find love for the very first time.
Okay, I'm there. I appreciate
Yeah. Now I feel more represented.
On that note, clearly, because these boys are so romantically incompetent, to help them move their dates along, I will be sending questions to both them and their dates in the chats that they can ask each other to hopefully get to know each other. And if all goes well, this date could end in a proposal. A proposal to meet in person when the world goes back to normal. And with that, Jordyn, you're up first.
That's horrible. That's a terrible thing to do to me.
What do you
And
mean?
you know it too.
That's the best thing I've heard all day. That's a great idea.
Jordyn, your date is a boxer and a queen from Dallas, Texas. Her favorite pastimes include watching fights with me, hanging out with her parents, and being Jewish. Here's Aliya.
Hello, Aliya. How are you?
I'm doing all right. You know, I'm really just thinking about Gilbert Gottfried now, so it can only go up from here.
I was going to amend that. I felt really bad because I singled Gilbert out. Just his voice and like mid-intercourse, I just feel like there'd be a point where that would just get uncomfortable physically. I
think like the first like introduction, like, hi, I'm Gilbert, nice to meet you. I couldn't go any farther than that. It would be horrible. I do want to hear like a children's bedtime story narrated by him. Just
That's
like
fair. Yeah,
crossed off the bucket list.
that would be amazing. Not unlike my deep love for for Jesus Christ. Brittany is terrible.
Okay, if you guys don't know, Jordyn is hugely religious. He's a Christian.
You know, one of the more famous Jews, I would say.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't do like a lot for us in the long run, but he was a chiller, I guess.
He's a cool dude, I'm a big fan.
He's trying to recover. And she's Jewish.
The water to wine bit is really what got me. I felt like at that point I was on board. I was like, oh, okay, I can get behind this. Yeah.
Well, that was the Jewish part of him.
Yeah.
Just the alcoholism runs deep. So I do have a question for you. What was the first concert you ever went to?
It was you know what? I'm gonna say it proud because I'm really proud about it. That's a lie. It was a Macklemore and Ryan Lewis concert.
I love Macklemore and Ryan Lewis, and my first ever concert was a Macklemore concert, and I had an excellent time. So I don't know why this is embarrassing.
A good friend of mine was like, hey, dude, you should listen to Macklemore and Ryan Lewis. And I was like, yeah, of course. I definitely will check it out. And then I did, and I liked their stuff. And then he's like, come to this concert with me. And we went to the concert, and the dude in the row, there was a woman in the row in front of us, and she only came to see Big Crit. And Big Crit is like he's a weird rapper. Not a lot of people know about him. And he goes up, he's an opener. She went nuts for Big Crit. She literally she was there, she screamed her head off the entirety of Big Crit's opening set and then left. She was not there for the concert. And I was like, this is going to go terribly wrong. And it did.
Yeah, I don't know who that is, so I would be worried myself.
Yeah.
Can I ask where
in
the timeline of thrift shop this concert took place?
No, that was definitely it was the post thrift shop era. He really captured the hearts of young people everywhere through some kind of black magic. I do have a question.
Well, it must have been white magic.
It was white magic. That's fair. I have a question. If I named my penis Murray, would that be an issue?
You know, it might be, but it also might not be. He is my favorite Wiggle, so I think that tracks, but it's also the name of my father, so I think that might be a weird crossroad.
That's so strange. You
Yeah.
have a favorite Wiggle you know by name?
As a kid, like only know so many names, and my father's name was one of them, and
that's fair.
There was a Wiggle. Like I couldn't tell you any of the other Wiggles.
And how is your relationship with your parents?
Pretty good. We get drunk like every night together, so you know it could be a lot worse. Speaking of family, are you disappointed that I'm not Eben's sister?
I am not disappointed that you are not Eben's sister. I'm 90% sure Eben's sister deeply finds me troublesome, like a troublesome influence in Eben's life. Because we went out with his sister one night and she just kept looking at me like, yeah, this guy is definitely going to be like a major issue in the life of Eben Bold. And I'd look at her and then I'd look at Eben and then I'd be like, yeah, probably.
Is she an older sister?
Yeah. She's older than even I am, I think. Yeah. Cool kid.
She thinks you're troublesome, but you like secretly like want to bang her. Is that what the deal is?
Not quite. I would love to get coffee with Jai. Like I really would, because I feel like she just has a ton of stories. Because she's one of those people you talk to, and then it's like, okay, you seem kind of boring.
He called my sister boring.
And then you talk to just a little bit longer, and you're like, wait, I was totally wrong. You've actually like done a bunch of. You're just pretty low key about it. That is about as far as it goes. I have more of a crush on Eben Bold, I think, than I do on his sister. It's the hair.
Yeah.
I told him, I said, grow out the hair, man. I promise you it'll do you wonders. Look at where he is now. Yeah.
Well, since you, you know, on our first blind date, just started talking about another woman and how interesting she is, do you consider yourself to be smooth with women?
Not when I say that I am. I don't know what smooth even means.
We just recorded a Save the World episode in which he told me he was very smooth with women, so these things don't really check out here.
No, I'll say no. I consider myself strangely vulnerable and almost a little bit like on the pity side of like, I definitely sleep with this dude, but it's definitely the pity end of the spectrum. Oh, he's like sad and lonely enough that like he seems somewhat interesting. I feel like that's where I land on.
Has that been working for you?
It gets plays. I do well for myself, I think. It works. Not unlike my ability to sing Natasha Bedingfield's Unwritten. When you're reaching, for something in the distance, and it's so close you could almost taste it, and you release your inhibitions.
Feel the rain on your skin.
And you feel the rain on your skin. Exactly.
Yeah.
If I just sung a few bars of Natasha Bedingfield's Unwritten, I think I think that's when people really start to just dig me, you know what I mean? So you box?
I do like kickboxing. If the USC booty bandit ever comes near me, just
fair enough.
One of these elbows, you know? Quick question, and I have to ask because I could never take anyone seriously who enjoys Cats. The musical, by the way. How do you feel about Cats?
The musical's bad, but the movie is quite excellent, and I've seen it many, many times. It's so bad. I think it starts to encroach on a place where it is just pure.
Look, he's trying to save it. He loves Cats. He's ranted and raved to me about how good Cats is.
At some point, somebody had to say this is a terrible idea, and the fact that nobody did to me makes it so good.
So, how many times have you seen Cats the musical, the movie?
I like put together like home theater in my basement. In this home theater, at least 4. I saw it in theaters twice. So I think like 6, definitely more than that, because I've definitely jumped into parts of Cats at just random periods, but the whole way through, 6 good times. Because I have to ask, do you think I'm gay?
Because you like Cats the musical, or for other reasons?
No, just in the general.
I am not getting like the vibe that you don't like women, but I could get the vibe that you did like men.
Okay. Okay.
You know, it was the you approach life with a vulnerability,
For sure.
sensitivity that, I'm not saying that makes you into men, but it's you know, I feel like you'd be open to the experience of it.
Wow. Understood. Yeah. I think Brittany really wants to know the answer. And I think she tries to set me up in situations where she can more easily ascertain how much I am into men or not into men. And with the exception of Eben Bold, I'd say probably close to 0% into men. It's the hair.
Evan is the exception.
It is the hair. Let's take a dive into what's not comfortable. On the hypothetical, just as a last question, if we were dating and I, let's just say, had a pimple in my butt crack, would you pop it for me?
I would have to ascertain how long we were dating and how just like primed the pimple is. I don't want to spend a lot of time in the butthole. Yeah, I would probably.
That is really surprising. I think my direct answer would be like no, but that is genuinely like a really good-hearted answer. I'm really surprised that the answer is just not no.
I think if anything, it would make an insane story.
Okay, yeah, when you put it like that, no, you're definitely right. I take back what I said. You're absolutely correct.
I popped my boyfriend's pimple. It was in his butt crack. I'm going to tell that story at parties constantly.
I think that's been our time. Thank you for enduring that. I promise I'm better than this, but not by a lot. So you got basically the gist, but I'm sorry.
I also want to apologize. My hands are so sweaty. It's been a great time.
What a lovely date, you two. Now, before we hear from Aliya on her thoughts on the Jordyn's date, we're going to get Eben's date out of the way. So, Eben, if you want to hop back on and get ready to meet your date. All right, Eben, you're up. Your date is a basketball player and a Justin Bieber enthusiast from King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. She enjoys long walks on the beach and laughing at the tears of others. Here's Luca.
Oh my God, hello.
Hello. Okay, wait. Oh, you ready?
Wow, you're so
You're
so romantic. Oh my God, thank you.
I'm gonna awkwardly pass it over the camera and we can pretend like it's coming into your face. There you go. All you.
I wish I had something to offer you, but all I have here are some egg yolks.
Oh, I can't eat egg yolks actually.
Oh, really? Why is that?
Oh, I'm vegan. I'm vegan.
Vegan. Okay. Yeah,
I've been vegan for my whole life.
Are your parents vegan, or how does that work?
Yeah. So my parents are vegan and they raised me vegan, so it's just all I know. Can I ask you, the intro was Justin Bieber enthusiast. I need to know more. What's your fascination with Justin Bieber?
I would get magazines from the store and I would cut out the pictures of Justin Bieber and I would put them all over my walls.
Oh my.
Yes, so I had Justin Bieber wallpaper.
How did you stick them all to the walls? Did they overlap each other? Was it a collage of Bieber or was it spread out and tasteful? What were the thoughts here?
Some tape,
Sure,
but
sure.
definitely not overlapped because I wanted to make sure I got the whole kind of image in there. So just kind of pictures right next to each other, I guess like a collage. I was just gonna say I also had a life-size cutout of him as well.
Wow.
I got it for Christmas.
That sounds like the greatest Christmas in the world. Since you're so interested in musicians, I feel like I should tell you I'm an indie rapper actually.
You are?
I am. I just had that urge to tell you that.
I don't really listen to a lot of indie music, so that interests me because I don't know much about it. How long have you been an indie rapper?
You have saved Evan's life. You can't give him a girl who's actually interested in his indie rap career.
Go ahead.
She's letting him finish.
Not that long, like a few months. I just really started writing my music and working on it and getting it kind of honed. But I have a few songs that I've written, but I don't have out anywhere. I'm still working on them. So
I'm just gonna ask if you could give me a little freestyle.
Oh, I'd love to. Yeah.
Sure.
How do I get a beat? What can I go with?
Um, no, you don't have. You don't have to. I don't know. I don't have a beat. I'm not good at making beats. I can't.
All right, let me try my best. Okay. Her name is Luca. It rhymes with puka, which is a shell, I think. That's it. That's the best I've got.
That was great.
Yeah. Well, I do better with my, dual screen action. I write stuff down, the whole thought process, the whole freestyle. It's a different kind of vibe.
I do have another question for you, though.
Yeah.
How tall are you?
Good question. I actually officially just grew, so this is really exciting for me. I'm officially now 5'7".
I am 5'10".
Okay.
But I stopped growing a long time ago.
Sure. Yeah, most people do. Finally reaching my final form. It came with the hair. Grew the hair out, the inch came, so yeah.
Yeah, everybody seems to love your hair. I mean, I do as well. It's beautiful.
Thank you. I spend less time working on it than you would expect, I think. This is all just naturally curly like this, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like perfectly wavy though. Like it's like it sits very well on your face.
Thank you. I grew it myself, so I appreciate that. What's your favorite artist?
I think my all-time favorite artist is Lil Wayne.
Yes.
He's a legend.
He really is.
No one can deny that.
He has fantastic music. Everything else he has done, maybe a little more questionable, but for his music alone, yeah.
Yeah, do you have a favorite artist?
Well, it's actually so funny that this was a joke that was supposed to be brought up earlier on the earlier date to be made fun of Jordyn, because my favorite artist is actually Macklemore.
Oh wow.
Yeah, which I don't get a great reaction on that usually when I tell people, but I think that he has really, really great like lyricism, and I just think that he has a great message in a lot of his music. And so I've seen him live. That was my first concert also, was Macklemore.
Maybe it was the same one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's where we met. That was the big. No, I went to that one with my mother, so that was not the same one.
Okay. I have another question for you.
Hit me.
Have you ever peed your pants but blamed it on the rain?
I think she has set it up so that Eben will it seems pretty okay, and then it just sort of like tumbles down.
That's such an oddly specific question, and now that you ask, vividly,
think long and hard about this one.
A memory is just pouring back to me. So I guess I have to answer yes. But in my defense, I was 7. I was over at my friend's house. We were then over at a different house. That house was like scary, so I couldn't go inside, obviously, to pee. And then it started raining, which makes you have to pee worse. So then I peed, and then I thought that I could just blame it on the rain.
I feel like I would believe that if you told me it was the rain.
It probably wasn't as believable when you realized that it was just sprinkling. So there was maybe a few drops of rain that occurred. Okay. But yeah, I tried.
It's fine.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Would it bother you that I'll probably never be as close to another woman as I am with my mother?
You know what, that doesn't bother me, because I feel like the bond between a mother and a son is just one that I don't know, it's just one that it's unmatched, and I would never understand the relationship. I heard that you did a speech at your high school graduation. What did you talk about? How did it go?
The speech went well. Until I fainted, actually, in the middle of it.
Now they get to talk about this man's fainting speech. He loves this story. This was a ploy.
I was doing the speech, and I was really unprepared for it. I really had not spent the time on it that I should have. So I got really nervous, and I just started kind of, losing my place in the script, and I didn't really know what I was doing. And the next thing I knew, I was on the ground, and everyone was standing around me, and I was like, oh, what happened? And someone told me that I passed out, and my first thing that I said was, that's crazy. can I finish my speech? And they got me like into a wheelchair and they started to like roll me off stage, and I like threw a fit on stage and was like, I need to finish my speech. Like, I'm not leaving the stage until I do it. And so they had to like bring me the book and the microphone, and I ended up doing it in the wheelchair. And then there was a part in the speech in which I said that, like, because it was a cheesy graduation speech, so like I had to rise to life's challenges. And I was like, well, it's like now or never, like this speech already sucks. So I stood up as I said that out of the wheelchair, and it was quite the moment of applause from everyone.
This is not embarrassing to him at all. I heard this story and I knew him for a day.
Everyone actually thought I faked it, the whole thing, because I like recovered in the end and was able to go back to the podium and everything. So, yeah.
Wow, that's very heroic of you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I suppose.
No peeing your pants though that time, right?
No, yeah, I avoided that one. Luckily, used the restroom right before.
Do you own any Dungeons and Dragons merchandise?
Oh yes, I do. What a great question. Are you familiar with Dungeons and Dragons at all?
Not in the slightest.
It sounds really nerdy, and it is really nerdy, but it's also fun. So there's that added benefit to it. It's pretty much just getting to play a character. And I'm a theater major, so I really like, characters and that kind of stuff.
Like Dungeons and Dragons, like I've heard of that before, definitely, but like, what is it?
It's called a role-playing game, is what the title would be. And pretty much you have dice, and then you have like a piece of paper that tells you a bunch of things about your character. Like, someone sets up a story and you respond to that story as your character would. And then you roll your dice to see if you do it well or you do it poorly.
Wow.
Is the most basic description I could give. Heck, I would love to play Dungeons and Dragons with you. That sounds like a blast.
Me too.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot more fun than people think. So I think you would enjoy.
Bet. Yeah.
I have to ask you, have you ever dated a professional juggler?
A professional juggler? I have not dated a professional juggler.
I assume I was meant to ask you that because I'm a professional juggler. So I guess
what?
Yes, I was a professional juggler.
Wow.
Can
you like juggle something for me real quick?
Yes. What do I have?
A professional juggler has to have some things to juggle. Oh my
ready?
gosh.
Three candles for you.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow. You should just do that the rest of the time. And just talk to me while you're juggling them.
That's I suppose I can, if that would. We'll just chat it up.
I can't juggle. I can't. I would love to learn. Maybe you can teach me how to juggle too.
I used to teach little kids how to juggle for a job in the summertime. So I am very good at teaching people how to juggle, and I would love to teach you how to juggle sometime.
Wow. Thank you so much. So I don't mean this in any intimidating way, but do you think that you could beat me in a fight?
You're 5'10".
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't guess this by looking at me, but I actually was a wrestler in high school. So if I had to fight
you, you're gonna say something like that.
I think if we had to tussle,
I don't know
if I would beat you because I wouldn't try to win, but we would just fight, and then I would try to avoid it. I don't think
you should just say no. The answer is no. You would not beat her in a fight. It was a trick question. Well played, Brittany.
Right. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I don't think I could ever. That's why I was a terrible wrestler, actually, is because I just couldn't get angry enough to be mean.
Just wanted to love.
Right. It was a problem. So, do you think you could beat me in a fight?
I think it would be a pretty fair fight. I feel like Brittany would put money on it.
That's good, at least. It would be balanced.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of my ego. Do you think I'm a cool guy?
Yeah, I think you're an awesome guy. I think you're really cool. You got a lot of things going for you.
That means no.
Take that, Brittany. Take that, Brittany.
Oh my God. Besides wrestling, have you been involved in any other athletic activities?
Well, it's so funny that you asked that because did you know that I'm actually referred to as the clown of tomorrow? That's kind of like my running title, the clown of tomorrow. So, you know, if we consider clowning a physical activity, I suppose you could go with that.
Brittany, I'm not saying that.
So what I wanted Luca to say was, do you mean the virgin of tomorrow? Because you're not getting laid today.
I didn't want to do it too.
I appreciate that. You're much nicer to me than anyone else on this team or on this call. So I thank you.
Wow.
Thank you for that.
Well, what a wonderful date. Wonderful to see everybody again.
Why are you so mad over there?
No reason. No reason. I figured out your plan, and I was like, wow, I get it now.
It appears these dates have shown or have thrown Jordyn into a full-blown midlife crisis.
Oh, absolutely.
What a whirlwind romance, everyone. Now that both of the dates have been completed, let's hear from the ladies. Luca, on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you rank this date with Eben compared to all the other dates you've ever been on?
Wow.
Remember the hair. When you answer that question, remember the hair. That's all I want to.
A 7.8.
Wow, Eben, I was not expecting that number.
Whoa.
After my freestyle, I was thinking it was a 6 or lower at least.
No, the freestyle like increased your score for sure.
What about you, Aliya?
And I just want you to remember before you answer, I didn't juggle. Just remember, I didn't juggle. I just want you to think about, I could have at any point juggled anything and I didn't do it. So just remember that.
Yeah, let me recalculate now because that is a great point.
Jordyn, I feel like that almost lowers your score.
The issue here is this is only the second date I have ever been on, so I don't have much to compare it to. So I'm just gonna give it a solid 8.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
The fact that he's got a peanut gallery. Oh, was he talking to the camera?
I have my camera still recording. I just want this moment for posterity. I had banked on getting at least a 3 and no higher than a 5. And so I was in that 5 to 3 range. The fact that I got an 8 tells me, 1, just please go out with anybody else. I promise you'll change your score. You deserve better. And 2, I'll take an 8. I'll take an 8.
Well, on that note, Aliya, what about Jordyn did you find most attractive and what did you find least attractive?
The least attractive thing, I'll just start off with that one, is clearly the Cats the Musical issue. That's going to be a huge issue.
I want to say I have so much commentary in that moment of me looking at my camera and I'm like, he's losing it right now. This is where it's all going to shit right now.
I would say the most attractive thing is probably you kept up the conversation well, and that was appreciative. There were very minimal like awkward silence moments.
Well, there he is, Jordyn, the king of conversation. What about you, Luca? What did you think was the most attractive and least attractive things about Eben?
Most attractive, I gotta say the hair. Like, come on, it's luscious. It's so soft. I want to rub my fingers through.
I can 100% confirm, very soft, so fun to run fingers through.
Least attractive? Probably that you were afraid to go into the scary house to pee, so you peed outside. I like a strong man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Not only did I pee outside, but I could have just peed outside. Instead, I peed my pants outside. So
I didn't even think of that. You're so right.
Yeah, neither did I in the moment, but after having so many years to ruminate on it, I really have, so.
Now, Luca, after experiencing your date and watching Aliya's date, are you glad that you were matched with Eben, or would you have preferred to go on this date with Jordyn?
I am actually very glad that I was matched with Eben. He kept me very entertained the whole time.
Incredible matchmaking work. What about you, Aliya? Are you glad you got the opportunity to take this date with Jordyn?
I will say I'm glad I got to have the date with Jordyn. I think it was a good time. I will say that Eben and I could have talked about Dungeons and Dragons for a while because I also really love Dungeons and Dragons.
So does Jordyn, actually.
I do.
We play all the time together, so.
All the
They
time.
both play all the
Yeah,
time.
We definitely play together.
What do you mean? We were just playing last night, buddy. You're not going to tell
Don't
me
do this to me. No.
Right before we got on the call, we were all
Not
dressed up
today.
and
You're
everything.
not going to lie on me today.
Well, last but not least, the moment we've all been waiting for. Jordyn, if you still choose to do so, now is your opportunity to propose an in-person meeting with Aliya and see if she rejects or accepts your offer.
Because you gave me an 8 and I just genuinely do not deserve it, we should actually go on an in-person date because I actually will be an 8. It will. At least an 8. I will do everything in my power to make sure that you have a date that is not terrible. Yeah.
The fact that he has such confidence after everything that just happened, really think about that. He's really, like, he means what he's saying here.
It cannot get any worse.
Sure, I'll give it a shot. Let's see if we can bring the 8 up to an 8.5.
And that is the beginning of a true romance. Now, I'll give you the same opportunity, Eben.
Luca, may I just say, I was thoroughly entertained in talking with you. I felt bad. I felt like it was really dominated by my crazy facts. I'd love to hear more about you. For that reason, I'd love to meet you in person sometime, take you out, very low key, very casual, just get to know you sometime. Here's my pitch.
You know what? I'd love to.
We're all surprised.
I'm sorry. Wait, can you say it? Mom!
I was like, Jordyn's gonna get a yes and Eben's gonna get an absolutely not. Thank you so much for our two special guests, Luca and Aliya, for being here and putting their reputations on the line by going out on blind dates with these idiots. There's so much love in the air for Valentine's Day, so I feel like we should just all wrap it up with a good old group hug, everybody.
Let's bring it in.
Bring it in. Oh.
Hey man, I don't know if someone didn't wear deodorant or something, but that was a lot.
That's all you.
Comedy Bold. Like and subscribe.